Even though 2020 was a terrible year for live music and the livelihoods of musicians, it was a great year for them to flex their creative muscle. In addition to several amazing new albums being released, there have been new books, podcasts, YouTube channels, and more creative output that's shown the world that music will not be destroyed by diseases, governments, or politics. Here at Make Weird Music, we interviewed several fantastic artists about some of the best albums to come out in 2020. First, we have Medieval Babes with their Prayers of the Rosary album. It's a psychedelic take on traditional Catholic prayers, set against the meditative backdrop of field recordings, archaic and exotic instrumentation, and spectral vocal textures. Panzerballett's Planet Z is a hard-hitting jazz metal album featuring several of the world's greatest drummers, including Virgil Donati, Marco Miniman, Morgan Ogren, and Gergo Borlai. Be sure to check out the quintuplet-based arrangement of Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries. It's great. Fabio Mittino and Bert Music of the Stars is the third release from this duo, featuring their acoustic guitar arrangements of music by Thomas de Hartmann, a Russian composer and student of the mystic spiritual teacher George Gurdjieff. Chris Opperman's Chamber Music from Hell is a contemporary classical concept album about a post-human civilization and the music that follows. There are so many delightful tracks on this album, some asking important questions about the Fermi paradox, living in a computer simulation, and whether Anton Webern played cribbage. Travis Orbin's Finite albums are some of the most challenging albums I've ever heard. This is music operating at the edge of what is possible. It features Sofia Udin on 7-string violin playing some absolutely unreal parts. Check out Finite 3 and watch Travis's drum playthrough of the entire album for free on his YouTube channel. Michael Manring's Small Moments is another unbelievable album of solo bass pieces recorded live with no overdubs, with minimal editing from the world's most innovative bassist. The first track is inspired by the works of philosopher Wittgenstein and mathematician Gödel, so there's that. Man's Dream Hunting in the Valley of the In-Between is probably my highlight for all of 2020. It ended a several-year hiatus of new music from one of the most surprising bands I've ever heard. Now imagine Tom Waits, Frank Zappa, Captain Beefheart, and a circus band getting together to make some pop music, and you've got this record. Strong melodies, catchy hooks, and incredible guitar solos all blend together with vocalist Honus Honus's classic gravelly voice. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, outside of purely musical releases, we've seen Toya Wilcox and Robert Fripp's very excellent Sunday Lunch and Agony Ants video series, as well as Robert's handwritten aphorisms being available for purchase. The Discipline Era Transcriptions book, which features the 3 classic 1980s King Crimson albums with full, complete transcriptions, it's released. It's awesome. I helped to proofread this book, and that's definitely a big feather in my cap. The anonymous music group Clowncore had a music video series and a new album from last year that's just so out there, I don't even know what to say about it. Seattle-based guitarist Steve Ball released at least 15 arrangements of a song called Scaling the Whales, with each new video and arrangement getting more complex and international. Indescribably cool, so creative. Jen Majura's 1 Minute Jam series brought so many great musicians together for 1-minute performances of famous pop songs. There are at least 12 of these, and they are all so fun. What a great way to smile and get through the pandemic. Bassist Mono Neon's Farting series has been great, and it led to a brand new solo album. And he did a Zappin' Roger cover video with Julian J3PO Pollock, which led me down this incredible wormhole, and I'm completely obsessed with J3PO and his live performance of Bonnie Raitt's I Can't Make You Love Me. Check that out, it's awesome. Adam Neely's Advanced Kids Music video was so awesome and creative, featuring nursery rhyme music in various time signatures and different modes. Really great stuff. And Ben Levin, who's in that video, also got to work with Tim Heidecker this past year, which led to him becoming an even bigger YouTube superhero. I'm a big Tim and Eric fan, so to see Ben working directly with Tim was amazing. Ben told me he spends about 14 hours a day working on YouTube videos, and it shows. I think he's the most creative YouTuber out there, without a doubt, and his channel's gonna just explode. Marcus Reuter's new podcast has been a great listen. I've been interviewed on episode 5, sharing more personal detail than I thought anyone would ever care to hear. I've learned a lot about music in just the first few episodes. Mike Keneally started a Patreon, and I've heard so much great feedback about it that I want to tell you, go check it out. I am a patron, but I don't check Patreon that much, but what I've seen is great. You're gonna love it. Alexei Agudisman started a hilarious YouTube series called Amuse News, kind of like PewDiePie's Pew News, and it features the occasional colorful ranting of Hyung-Ki Ju, who we interviewed in 2017. It's great to see Agudisman and Ju doing some hilarious new stuff on the internet. Gentle Giant's epic Proclamation fan performance video includes a momentary virtual reunion of all the surviving members and also includes my wife and myself making a short appearance. Prague Magazine said it was the event of the year, so check out that video. It was also an interesting year for me personally because I had a few musicians cover my music, including Nick Goodwin's performance of my 5/4 Christmas arrangement of We Three Kings, Alfonso Mocherino's drum performance of my crazy Bach Prague arrangement, and Giannis Karakassidis did a drum performance of my heavy metal Bach arrangement. All of that stuff is super cool. And finally, I had some major milestones. I released my full performances of Fracture and Fractured, and I'm almost ready to start pre-orders of the new Failure to Fracture book about my 22-year journey to learn King Crimson's Impossible Song. We crossed 10,000 YouTube subscribers, technically on January 1st, but still it counts. We celebrated with a 2-hour live stream interview, which was a blast, and a lot of great feedback on that. You can check that out on the channel. I wrote the Failure to Fracture book, and I got publicly mocked by Robert Fripp for retiring from Fracture, so that was some fun silliness on Facebook. I released a new song called Pune with Morgan Ogren on drums and Michael Manring on bass. Expect more music with these guys in 2021. Okay, that is a lot of stuff for 2020, and I could go on and on and on, but I will save you the time. Hit the subscribe button, and you will see some amazing stuff that we are planning for 2021. Let us know what we missed about 2020 in the comments, and let us know what you're looking forward to in 2021 from your favorite artists.